Hi, Jules here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Wednesday, September 4th. If you'll excuse my appearance, I have not showered yet, but I didn't have time yesterday to make a video, and I need to be jumping in the shower and getting ready for work, so I thought it'd be nice to be able to upload this and have it processing while I'm getting ready for work this time. So, no makeup, au naturel. Sorry. So behind me, you will see what I finished over the weekend. Well, the top that I finished. The Halloween quilt is pieced. I have the border, 2 borders attached. I really like it. And it's going to be big enough for me. I'm only 5'2.5", so this is going to be close to 6 feet, right around just under 6 feet long when it's finished and bound. So this is mine. This was a fun exercise. I have some challenges I'm trying to overcome with the memory quilt, and also obviously with quilting anything. So it was a lot of fun to just try to use up fabric. I would love to say that this used most of my Halloween fabric, but I still have all of this. This is all Halloween fabric. Yeah, so a lot of this was used in this quilt. A lot, you know, a portion of it was not, because it was either too small, the pieces were all too small, or whatever. So, but there's even some fat quarters and stuff still left in here that haven't been touched. One of the fun things about it, in the sashing, you'll see some that looks like sort of a skeleton from like an anatomy book, right here. That particular fabric, the white on that fabric, is actually glow in the dark, and I did not realize that until I was working on this quilt. So there's just these weird little, it's only that fabric. I thought the eyes were also the eyes, but they're not. So, so there's just these weird little like pops of glow in the dark, which is kind of fun. There was one fabric in my Halloween stash that did not go with any of the other fabrics. It was a completely different style and range of colors, because you'll notice you see a lot of the green, black, purple, orange, in sort of brights. This is more of a fun, bright Halloween quilt. This is really different. This fabric right here. And I love this fabric. I remember buying this fabric, and I think I used it, a good chunk of it, probably a yard, on a reversible table runner for a friend of mine a couple of years ago as a birthday gift. It is Pumpkin Hill by Thimbleberries. And I really like it because it's got a very retro feel to it. But the color scheme just didn't seem to fit. I kept trying to use it in this quilt and it didn't fit. So, you know what that means. I've started another quilt for this. And I didn't have any other Halloween fabrics that went with it. And I dug through fabrics that are in this color scheme here. And I found one that I liked, which was this one. It's a Moda fabric. I can't remember exactly. Cinnamon Stars, I think it's called. But I have way less of this. So I thought, wonder if anyone's done this same kind of quilt, the Disappearing 9 patch with sashing, but instead they did a Disappearing 4 patch. So I was bouncing ideas off Jennifer, and she's like, well, you know, do it on a piece of paper, try it out. So because I thought, can I do this with only 2 fabrics, with only 2 colors? And so I tried it out just with some colored pencils on paper and cut it up and tried rearranging it, and it worked. So this is about to get cut up for the final square. And I have the 4 patches with sashing done. I could not find an example. I found a lot of Disappearing 4 patches. I could not find an example where they had sashing and they only used 2 fabrics. So this is what I have before I cut it up. So I have 1 more of these to make. I have just enough fabric to make 1 more of these 4 patches. And then the rest of it is all too small. So, and there's just a tiny bit left. And then I have more of this. I have about maybe a 1/4 yard with the fabric of the cinnamon stars to use for the rest of the sashing. So yeah, so that was fun. So that will get rid of all of this. Whatever's left can go in the back. There's only a small piece. Whatever's left can be pieced into the back, and that will get rid of that altogether. And then the only other thing going on, obviously, is the saga of the stitch regulator and quilt frame. Quick update on that. This right here is a return label box. All of the replacement parts that Grace sent me for the stitch regulator, the replacement control box, the replacement cables, are getting shipped back to them today. They just said, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to send you a whole brand new unit. And I said, cool, thank you. So Grace company, Jason at Grace Tech Support is a stand-up guy. Let's just say. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. So I just keep piecing so that I get even further behind with quilting. But what can you do? At least it gives me an outlet for the creativity. I'm having fun. I'm using up fabric from my stash. Everything here came from my stash. Everything in this quilt is going to come from my stash. The backs are going to come from my stash. Even if I have to piece fat quarters together, I don't care. I'm using up that stash. So, yeah, that's it for me. I hope everybody has a good week. I need to watch everybody else's videos today. Hopefully I will have time. And I'll see you next week.